He was the man who whispered into the ear of then-President Bush that planes had crashed into the World Trade Center towers. Joining us live to talk more about the execution of Osama Bin Laden, former White House Chief of Staff Andy Card. Andy, did you ever think it would take this long or if this day would come at all?
Oh, I definitely thought this day would come. It took longer than I wanted and longer than I expected, but I believe this day would come. President George W. Bush told us that we would have the resolve to get Osama bin Laden dead or alive and bring him to justice, and that's exactly what happened. Great credit should go to our intelligence community and the Navy SEAL team that carried out the mission and the tremendous work that was done to prepare for this day, which is a great day. I also compliment the resolve that President Obama demonstrated, and I'm glad that he followed up on the resolve that President Bush had when he was President of the United States and said that we would get Osama bin Laden.
Andy, what do you think your former boss is thinking about this news this morning?
Well, I know that he thinks it's a great day, and that he and I have communicated by email, and it was a USA. I mean, this is a closure to some people. This is not the end of the war on terror. Don't get me wrong. We have to be ever vigilant. In fact, the bad guys are going to be empowered by this great act by America, but we're going to have to demonstrate our resolve to continue to fight the war on terror and keep America safe. President George W. Bush came to office every single day after September 11, 2001, and the number one thing on his mind was protecting America.
He was caught in a very upscale portion of Pakistan, not in a cave. What are your thoughts on Pakistan, its role possibly in this capture and possible execution?
Well, I hope that they were helpful and constructive. I doubt that they were given advanced warning. I suspect this was carried out with the ultimate secrecy necessary to accomplish the mission. But we want everyone in the world to be an ally in the war on terror. When President Bush changed foreign policy, probably forever, he said, you're either with us or against us. That was a dramatic call, and it was most dramatically felt by the Pakistanis. And thankfully, they have been generally a constructive ally in the war on terror. There are elements within Pakistan that we worry about, and I continue to worry about them. But this is the right thing for free people around the world to celebrate today, and we want to make sure that we celebrate but stay on our highest alert and be ready to address challenges if they come.
Andy, I have to ask you, do you have any regrets that this couldn't have been accomplished when you were in the White House?
Oh, absolutely. There were many days when I thought we had Osama bin Laden in our sights and were ready to capture him, and the intelligence fell through, or the operation happened too late, or the drone attack didn't hit the target that we thought was there. So, yes, I was frustrated, but I was also optimistic that America had the resolve to follow through. You know, George W. Bush, when he was president, told Mrs. Howard that he would never forget her son, George Howard. And you remember Mrs. Howard gave President Bush that badge number 1012, and she challenged the president. She said, this is my son's badge, George Howard, don't ever forget him. And President George W. Bush said that he would never forget, and he didn't, and I'm glad America didn't.
Andy, it's an honor to have you on this morning. We appreciate it very much. Former White House Chief of Staff Andy Card.
Thank you, Andy.